Mother and father evicted me during my birthday celebration. Now all my relatives are trying to take over my new place by declaring it's their family property. Be me, 29 years old, name's Ryan. Have one hell of a story to share. Work as a content marketing assistant. Not glamorous, but pays some bills. Live with my parents and younger brother, Kevin. Our house is cramped, falling apart. Always smells like old carpet. Been contributing a lot around here. Pay big chunk of the bills. Buy groceries every week. Handle repairs when shit breaks down. You'd think I'd get appreciation, but nah. Every time I walk in, hear Mom Brenda talking down to me. Ryan, when are you going to get a real job? Her favorite line. What does she even mean by real job? Bust my ass at work. Content marketing isn't easy. But because I'm not a doctor or lawyer, it doesn't count. Try to defend myself. Always same response. If it was a real job, you'd have your own place by now. Yeah, okay, Mom. Then there's Kevin, my 25-year-old brother. Never gotten along. Has this smug attitude. Always looking down on me. Thinks he's better because of his social media following. Barely lifts a finger around house. Guess who picks up the slack? Me. No one cares. My 30th birthday coming up. Actually excited despite everything. Dumb, right? Really thought maybe this year would be different. Even saved up for a nice cake. From this fancy bakery downtown in Chicago. Imagined a small celebration. Just the four of us. Nothing big, but thought maybe they'd actually care. Few days before, sat down with Mom and Dad Walter. Hey, was thinking we could do something for my birthday this weekend? Just hang out, maybe have some cake. Tried keeping hopes in check. Mom didn't even look up from magazine. We'll see, Ryan. We might have plans. Plans? On my birthday?
Я должен был догадаться, что...
But didn't want to believe it. Been living there my whole life. Helping out. Working hard. Why would they have plans that didn't include me? Fast forward to birthday. Feeling good. Went to work. Got a bunch of happy birthday messages from coworkers. Even treated myself to a new jacket. Things looking up. Thought maybe I'd get home and they'd have surprise waiting. A card, cake, something, anything. Pull into driveway. Stomach drops. My stuff out on front lawn. Boxes, bags, clothes, books. Everything thrown out like trash. Jump out of car. Heart pounding. Rush to porch. There they are. Mom, Dad, Kevin. Just standing there staring at me. Like some twisted family meeting. Heart racing. Can't think straight. What's going on? Ask trying to keep voice from shaking. Mom steps forward. Face cold like she doesn't care at all. Ryan, it's time for you to move out. You're not welcome here anymore. Stand there frozen. Can't process what she's saying. Move out? On my birthday? What kind of sick joke is this? Look at Dad hoping he'd step in. Say something. Tell me this is all misunderstanding. But no, just stares at ground, hands in pockets. Can't even look at me. Feel rush of anger and confusion. But it's my birthday. Where am I supposed to go? Voice cracks. Hate how desperate I sound. Kevin chimes in with smirk, making me want to scream.
Может, тебе стоило подумать об этом, прежде чем быть такой обузой все.
A burden? I was paying bills. Buying food. Keeping this crappy house from falling apart. How am I the burden? Look at Mom hoping for explanation. Something that makes sense. It wasn't enough, she says. Voice sharp like slap. We need the space and frankly, you need to grow up. That's it. No empathy. No second chances. Just cold indifference. Tears well up. Refuse to let them see me break down. Can I at least get my things? Ask, voice barely above whisper. They're all packed, Mom replies. Gestures to boxes on lawn like no big deal. You should go now. That's it. Happy birthday to me. Start loading boxes into car. Hands shaking. Feels surreal. Like living someone else's nightmare. Want to scream. Cry. Ask them how they could be so heartless. But don't. Just keep moving. One box after another. Trying to hold myself together. Finish packing up last of things.
Повернуться, чтобы посмотреть на них впоследствии.
Hoping, praying they'd change minds. That they'd realize how messed up this is. Why today? Why on my birthday? Ask, barely able to get words out. Mom doesn't even blink. Consider it our gift to you. Independence. Just like that. Gone. On what should have been day of celebration. Driving away from only home I'd ever known.
Не зная, куда ехать.
End up at cheap motel. Kind with flickering neon sign out front. Spending birthday alone. Surrounded by hastily packed belongings. Sit staring at ceiling. Wondering how people supposed to love me could be so cruel. How could they do this to me? Their own son. On my birthday. That night make promise to myself. Never rely on them again. Pick myself up no matter how hard it gets. Clearly on my own now. After whole birthday fiasco felt like hit by truck. Wasn't just about getting kicked out. Yeah, that sucked. Was realizing people supposed to have my back just didn't care. Spent night in dingy motel. Trying to wrap head around it all. No making sense of it. Next day did only thing could think of.
Бросился на работу.
What else was going to do? Couldn't sit around feeling sorry for myself. Had bills to pay? Now needed to find place to live. Boss Olivia noticed pretty quickly something was off. Was at office all hours. Hunched over laptop. Answering emails like robot. She's sharp. Didn't take long for her to pull me aside. Was late. Office practically empty when she found me at desk. Ryan, can we talk? She asked. Leaning on edge of my cubicle. Looked up. Must have looked like mess. She gave concerned look. You're going to work yourself into ground at this rate. What's going on? Didn't want to get into it. But second she asked, it all came out. Told her everything. How family kicked me out. How I was staying in horrible motel. With stuff still in boxes. As talked, Olivia's expression softened. Didn't say anything at first. Just listened. Which was more than family ever did. When finished, she let out a sigh. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Shrugged, feeling embarrassed. Mean she's my boss, not therapist. But she didn't seem to mind. Look, Ryan, I have spare room in my place. It's not much, but you're welcome to stay until you figure things out. Couldn't believe it. Didn't know how to respond at first. Are you serious? Asked, half expecting her to change mind. But she smiled and nodded. Of course, I know what it's like to be in tough spot. Don't worry about it. So relieved, almost started crying again. Managed to hold it together. Thank you, whispered. Don't know how to repay you. She waved me off. Don't even mention it. You've been killing it at work and I'd hate to see you burn out. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself. Just like that, had place to stay. Wasn't home, but was something. Packed up stuff from motel. Moved into Olivia's guest room next day. Little small but clean, warm, quiet. All needed at that point. First night there sat on bed. Just trying to process everything. Felt little better. Still hole in chest. Like everything thought new had been ripped away. Didn't let myself wallow too long. Threw myself into work even harder. If that's possible. Olivia wasn't kidding when said she'd push me harder. Honestly appreciated it. Kept me distracted. Took on more freelance gigs too. Figured more money could save.
Быстрее смог выйти на само...
Wasn't easy though. Nights were stayed up until 3 a.m. Staring at computer. Trying to crank out designs. Mind kept drifting back to family. Kept thinking maybe they'd call. Maybe they'd apologize. Maybe they'd realize they messed up. But no. Nothing. Radio silence. During all this, best friend Ethan was godsend. Been friends since college. Even though weren't living in same city anymore. Always stayed close. Told him what happened. He was furious. Can't believe they'd do that to you, he said during one of calls. You deserve better. He wasn't wrong, but it still stung. Yeah, well it is what it is, muttered. Just gotta keep moving forward. Ethan, being joker he is, tried to lighten mood. You know what would really piss them off? He said with laugh. You becoming wildly successful and rubbing it in their faces. Laughed, but idea stuck with me. Not that wanted revenge. Okay, maybe little, but mostly wanted to prove to myself. Didn't need them. Could make it on own. So that became mission. Work harder. Save more. Eventually get out of Olivia's guest room. Into place of own. Over next few months, things started looking up. My designs getting noticed by bigger clients. Bringing in more money than ever had. Kept telling myself every late night. Every all-nighter worth it. Honestly, it was slowly but surely rebuilding life. One project at a time. Started to feel like maybe didn't need family after all. Sure, it hurt. Probably always would. But proving to myself could survive without them. Wasn't just surviving. Was thriving? That felt good. One day, Olivia pulled me into office. Had this huge grin on face. Ryan, I've got some good news, she said. How does lead designer sound to you? With raise, of course. Was speechless. Are you serious? Blurted out.
Чувствовал, что могу упасть в обморок от...
Dead serious, she said, still grinning. You've earned it. You've been doing incredible work, and it's time to recognize that. Couldn't believe it. Lead designer, me. Felt like all hard work. Sleepless nights. Stress. Finally paying off. Thank you, managed to say. Still in shock. Don't thank me yet, she said, winking.
Теперь у меня будет гораздо больше ответственности.
Didn't care. Was ready for it? This was what been working for. With promotion and all freelance gigs been stacking up.
Наконец-то я могу начать думать о следующем шаге.
Literally. Wasn't going to stay in Olivia's guest room forever. Now could actually start looking for place of own. But thing wasn't just about money or job. Was about finally feeling like in control of life again. For so long felt stuck in that house with family. Stuck in their expectations. Stuck in their judgment. But now was free. Making own decisions. Building own life. No one could take that away. Finally moving forward. And it felt damn good. Few weeks after got promoted to lead designer.
Наконец-то я начал чувствовать, что жизнь наладилась.
Been working non-stop. Saving money. Even thinking about getting own place soon. Things really looking up. But of course, right when think everything going smoothly, life decides to throw wrench in gears. Started one random Tuesday afternoon. Middle of working on big project. Phone buzzed. Didn't think much of it. Just figured was email or something. When glanced at screen. Saw name least expected. Kevin. My brother. Last person wanted to hear from. For second just stared at phone. Part of me didn't want to answer. Hadn't heard from Kevin or parents since they kicked me out. On my birthday. Honestly didn't miss them. But curiosity got better of me. Picked up. Hey, said, trying to keep voice neutral. Ryan, it's me, Kevin replied. Voice quieter than usual. Wasn't his usual cocky tone, which threw me off. I know it's you, said. Little annoyed. What do you want? Long pause on other end. For a moment thought he'd hung up, but then spoke again. Could hear hesitation in his voice. I need help. Raised eyebrow, not believing what hearing. Kevin needing help from me? Same brother who stood there and watched.
Пока мои вещи выбрасывали на лужайку.
Yeah, right. I don't know what to tell you, replied, already feeling anger bubbling up inside.
Ты ясно дал понять, что я больше не член семьи.
He let out sigh. Look, I know things have been rough, but this isn't about that. It's about Dad. He lost his job and Mom's spending is out of control. I can't afford school anymore. There it was. Real reason for call. Wasn't about me or making amends, or even caring about what happened. Was about money. It was always about money. Bit my lip. Fighting back wave of emotions that hit me. Part of me wanted to tell him off. Remind him how they treated me. Hang up and never look back. But another part, small stupid part, still felt that pull of obligation. They were my family after all. Or at least they used to be. So let me get this straight, said, voice sharper than intended. You're calling me now after months of silence because you need money? It's not just about money, Kevin said quickly. We're in bad spot, Ryan. You know how Mom is. She's been spending like crazy and Dad, well, he's not exactly doing great without job. I don't know what to do. Took deep breath. Trying to keep cool. That sounds like a you problem, Kevin, not mine. Come on, Ryan, we're family, he said. Could practically hear desperation in his voice. First time in years he'd sounded vulnerable, but wasn't falling for it. Family? Scoffed, unable to stop bitterness from seeping into tone. You guys threw me out on my birthday. Family doesn't do that. He didn't have answer for that, just long pause. Honestly, that silence told me everything needed to know. I'm done being your backup plan, said, voice firm. You and Mom and Dad made it pretty clear where I stand with you all.
Не звони мне больше.
Before he could respond, hung up, hand shaking slightly as set phone down on desk. Felt strange mix of anger, sadness, and relief. Felt good to stand up for myself. Finally put foot down. Say no, but at same time. Sucked that it had come to this. Sat there for a few minutes, just staring at wall, trying to process everything. Kept thinking about all times bent over backward for family. All times sacrificed own happiness for theirs. And where had it gotten me? Homeless on birthday. Time to stop feeling guilty for walking away. They made their choice. I had made mine. After that call, threw myself back into work. Didn't want to dwell on it too long. Knew would just drag me down. So focused on project was working on. Trying to push thoughts of Kevin and parents to back of mind. But thing is, once those thoughts creep in, hard to get rid of. That night as lay in bed. Kept replaying conversation over and over in head. Kept thinking about what could have said. What should have said. Wanted to believe maybe deep down they were sorry. But knew better. They weren't calling because missed me. Or because regretted what they did.
Они звонили, потому что им что-то было.
Wasn't about to let them use me again. Next morning, woke up feeling more determined than ever. Time to focus on me. On building my life, my career, and my future. Couldn't keep looking back. Couldn't keep wondering if things could have been different. They weren't. That was just reality of it. From that day forward. Made promise to myself. Wasn't going to let family drag me down anymore. Been through enough.
Наконец-то я начал строить что-то хорошее для себя.
Wasn't about to let them ruin that. Sure, part of me still felt guilty. For cutting them off. For not helping when they were clearly in tough spot. But then reminded myself, where were they when I was struggling? Where were they when I needed help? Yeah, didn't owe them anything. So kept going. Worked hard. Saved money. Kept focus on future. Every time started to feel that old guilt creeping in. Reminded myself of that phone call. They made their bed. Now had to lie in it. Wasn't gonna be their safety net anymore. Honestly, it felt good to finally be free. Finally saved up enough to buy a really nice apartment. Honestly, best thing that's happened to me. Was in middle of project. Knee-deep in designs, completely focused. When doorbell rang, first thought might be package or something. Been ordering bunch of stuff for work. Didn't think twice about it. But when checked security camera, froze. There standing on my porch were my parents and Kevin. Stomach did weird flip. Felt like someone punched me. They hadn't reached out since that call from Kevin weeks ago. Thought we were done. So why hell were they here? Took deep breath, trying to calm myself down before opening door. Mind racing with all possible reasons they could be standing there. Maybe here to apologize. Or maybe just needed something else. Honestly, didn't know which would be worse. When opened door,
Мама Бренда даже не стала ждать, пока я что-нибудь скажу.
pushed past me like owned place. Eyes scanning living room, like she was appraising it. Wow, Ryan, you've really done well for yourself, she said. This weird smile on face, kind that wasn't really smile at all. Just stood there stunned. Kevin followed her in, looking uncomfortable, while Dad Walter shuffled in last, hands stuffed in pockets. Like had no idea what to do with himself. What are you guys doing here? Asked, trying to keep voice steady, heart pounding. Could feel tension building up inside.
Знал, что ничего хорошего из этого разговора не вы.
But hoping maybe, just maybe was wrong. Mom turned around, fake smile still plastered on face. We're here to talk about living arrangements. Blinked confused. What? Dad cleared throat. For first time since they arrived, he spoke, We think it's time for the family to be back together. Almost laughed. So absurd. So ridiculous. For second thought, they were joking. You're joking, right? Asked, voice dripping with disbelief. Mom's smile faded. She crossed arms, looking at me like I was one being unreasonable. No, Ryan, we've talked it over and we think it's time we all live together again. As a family, stared at her speechless. This had to be some kind of prank. After everything that's happened. After you kicked me out on my birthday. And now you want to move in with me? Kevin, who had been silent until now, chimed in with usual smug tone. Come on, Ryan, don't be so dramatic. That's all in the past. Felt my blood boil. All in the past? You guys threw me out on my birthday. You left me with nowhere to go, no support, nothing. And now you want to just waltz back into my life like nothing happened? Mom's expression hardened. We gave you the push you needed, she said. Voice cold. And look how well you've done because of it. You should be thanking us. Couldn't believe what hearing. They were trying to take credit for my success. For everything worked my ass off for... So what? You think you can just show up, claim credit for my hard work, and what, move in here? This is my home, not yours. Dad, trying to play peacemaker, stepped forward. Ryan, be reasonable. We're struggling right now. You have all this space, and we thought it'd be nice to be together again. Shook head. Frustration building with every word they said. You're only here because you need something. You didn't care about me when I was struggling, and now you expect me to help you. That's not how this works. Mom's face twisted with anger. We're your family, Ryan. We sacrificed for you. Everything you have is because of us. Couldn't hold back anymore. Sacrificed what exactly? What did you sacrifice, Mom? You kicked me out. You didn't help me when I needed it most. You threw me away like I was nothing. And now you think you're entitled to my success? To my home? She opened mouth to argue, but wasn't done. I've worked hard for this. I've built this life for myself with no help from you. You don't get to walk in here and claim anything. Kevin rolled eyes. God, Ryan, stop being so selfish. We're just asking for little help. That word, selfish, set me off. Selfish? You want to talk about selfish? How about you all throwing me out of house? Leaving me with nothing? How about showing up here now demanding I give you place to stay because you've screwed up your own lives? That's selfish, Kevin. Not me. Dad stepped forward again, voice softer, almost pleading. Ryan, please, we're just asking for chance. Took deep breath, trying to calm storm raging inside me. No, you don't get to do this. You don't get to use me anymore. Mom's eyes narrowed. Fine. If you want to be difficult, we'll take legal action. We have rights, you know. Couldn't believe what hearing. Legal action? On what grounds? We'll find something, she said, voice dripping with venom. Don't push me, Ryan. Let out bitter laugh. Go ahead, try. But let me tell you something. This is my house and you have no right to it. You're not moving in. Not now. Not ever. They didn't say anything for a moment.
На их лицах читались гнев и разочарование.
But didn't care.
Они не отступали.
Finally walked over to front door. Opened it wide. Get out, said. Voice steady. Now. They hesitated for a moment, but stood firm, waiting for them to leave. Mom huffed, shooting me look full of hatred. Before marching out, Dad followed her, looking like wanted to say something, but he didn't. Then Kevin, who just shook head in disbelief, walked out without another word. As soon as they were gone, closed door, leaned against it, taking deep breath, heart still racing, hands shaking, but felt weird sense of relief, like weight lifted off shoulders. Wasn't going to let them take advantage of me anymore. Not now. Not ever. After kicked my family out of my house, things got quiet again, not going to lie.
Было облегчение.
For first time in long time.
Почувствовал, что контролирую собственность.
Like wasn't constantly waiting for other shoe to drop.
Но в глубине души я понимал, что это...
Mom had thrown out that threat about legal action, even though didn't think she had anything to stand on.
Не могла избавиться от чувства, что они...
Trying to weasel their way back into my life. A few days later got call from Ethan, one of my closest friends. Lucky for me, he's also a lawyer. Had mentioned whole situation to him in passing. Hadn't gone into all details, now that family had crossed line.
Подумал, что пришло время получить реальность.
Hey Ryan, Ethan said when answered. You free to talk? I've been thinking about your situation. Yeah, sure, replied, suddenly feeling a bit anxious.
Что случилось?
I've been looking into your parents' situation a bit more, he said, tone getting more serious. I know you mentioned they've been struggling financially and you're worried they might try something shady. Well, I did some digging and it turns out they're in deeper trouble than you thought. Heart sank. Didn't want to hear this, but knew needed to. What do you mean? Asked. There's history of financial issues, Ryan. Tax problems, debt. It's not just that your dad lost his job and your mom's been overspending. They've been digging themselves into a hole for years. And now that you've made it clear they can't rely on you, they're getting desperate. Sat there processing what Ethan was saying. Mind flashed back to Mom's smug threats, her talking about legal action, her entitlement to what I'd worked for. Made sense now. This wasn't just about needing help. They were trying to find a way out of their own mess. and they saw me as their way out. So what do I do? Asked, feeling familiar weight of stress settling on shoulders. Ethan was quiet for a second before answering. Well, first off, you need to protect yourself. They might not have much of case to try and take anything from you.
Но люди делают глупые вещи, когда они в
We should file for restraining order to make sure they can't harass you anymore. You've got enough evidence of their behavior. Those threats, them showing up at your house, it's time to take some legal steps. Restraining order.
Звучит экстремально.
But at the same time, knew it was right move. My family had already shown they didn't respect my boundaries. And if they were desperate enough to keep pushing, needed to protect myself. I'll do it, said.
Чувствуя решимость.
Let's file restraining order. Ethan talked me through process. Within few days, had everything in motion. Wasn't just about stopping them from coming to my house. Was about finally drawing line. Wasn't going to let them drag me into their mess. Had worked too hard to get where I was. Wasn't about to let their issues derail my progress. As all this was happening, noticed something strange. Started getting weird messages from mutual acquaintances, people who knew my family, but hadn't been in touch for a while. Were vague at first, but then became clear. My parents were spreading lies about me. Apparently, I had abandoned them when they needed me most. I was selfish and ungrateful for not helping out after everything they'd done for me. It was laughable, really. Same people who kicked me out on birthday. Now trying to play victim card, couldn't believe it. But at the same time, it pissed me off. Had worked so hard to rebuild life. Now they were trying to tear it down. By turning people against me. Called Ethan again, letting him know about rumors. What should I do? Asked, frustration clear in voice. Honestly, don't engage with it, he said. These people don't know full story. And your parents are banking on fact that you'll get defensive. And try to explain yourself. Don't give them that satisfaction. We'll handle this in court if it gets that far. And trust me, you've got nothing to worry about. Wasn't easy taking Ethan's advice. First instinct was to blast truth. To anyone who would listen. To tell them how my family had treated me. And why I had every right to cut them off. But more I thought about it, more I realized Ethan was right. Didn't owe anyone explanation. I knew truth, and that was enough. Weeks passed. Legal proceedings moved forward. Ethan was beast in courtroom. And when restraining order was finalized, felt this huge weight lift off shoulders. My family couldn't come near me. And if they tried to pull any more stunts, they'd be in serious legal trouble. But that wasn't end of their problems. Remember those financial issues Ethan had mentioned? Well, turns out they were worse than we thought. After some more digging, Ethan found out my parents had been dodging taxes for years. They'd been hiding money, falsifying documents, and now IRS was on their tail. Was almost poetic, watching mess they had made for themselves unravel right in front of them. As much as wanted to feel bad for them, I couldn't. They had brought this on themselves. They had made their choices, and now had to deal with consequences. I wasn't going to be their savior anymore. One day after everything had settled down, sat in living room, staring out window, thinking about everything that had happened, with strange feeling sense of closure. Had spent so long feeling trapped by family's expectations, by their manipulation and guilt trips. And now for first time felt free. Ethan called later that night to check in. How are you holding up? He asked. I'm good, said. And for first time actually meant it. It's been crazy ride, but I'm good.
Ты поступил правильно, Райан, сказал.
They made their choices and you made yours. Don't let them make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. Smiled to myself. He was right. Had stood up for myself. And wasn't going to feel guilty for it. For too long had let family control how I felt, how I acted. And now was finally in control of own life. And that felt damn good.